Chances are you probably saw this video from Above recently where he covered Bump in the Night with Chill Clip, claiming it was the DPS meta as far as rockets go. In that video, he was using 4 Chill Clip rockets to deal damage, saying that the more rockets with Chill Clip you have, the more chances there were for a boss to shatter, taking extra chunks of damage. But previously, the community was at a consensus that multiple Chill Clip rockets weren't worth running because you didn't get extra shatter damage past just one person running it. In my opinion, his video didn't really show damage testing, just damage phases where Bump in the Night with Chill Clip did well, saying that it had better DPS and total damage output than Hothead. On top of that, there wasn't any major proof that Chill Clip and the shatter damage was activating more times than expected, nor that there was a higher increase in damage because of this. So in this video, I went through and fully tested Chill Clip rockets to see exactly how the shatter damage was working, and to also see if having more Chill Clip rockets was actually better than just running one or running none at all. And as you're gonna see, having multiple Chill Clips is not optimal in most cases. Before we get into anything, I did also want to mention, I think Above is one of the best content creators currently in the Destiny community. His streams and videos are both great, and he's obviously very good at the game, making him someone that a lot of the community can learn from. So the purpose of this video isn't to put him down in any way whatsoever, or the video he put out with Chill Clip, but rather to just get some accurate damage testing for the rocket so people can draw their own conclusions and choose what they think is most optimal. Starting things off, it's important to understand how Shatter works and how we are going to be getting shatters with Bump in the Night. Anything in-game can become frozen and stay frozen, taking shatter damage when you break it out. However, bosses will automatically break themselves out 3 seconds after being frozen if you don't break them out first. Here, you're going to see that breaking the boss out definitely adds a bit of damage, which is coming from Shatter. However, if I let this boss break itself out, then you're going to see a ton more damage being dealt, which means if the game registers a boss breaking free versus you breaking a boss free, different damage is being dealt. Bump in the Night with Chill Clip is going to apply 50 stacks of slow per rocket that hits. 100 stacks are going to be needed to freeze an enemy, which means 2 rockets at base would be needed. However, Wolfpack rounds also add slow stacks. I've heard 5 slow stacks per Wolfpack rounds, but I'm honestly not 100% sure if this is true, and I'm also not sure how many Wolfpack rounds are spawned in. And on top of this, not every Wolfpack round will always hit the boss. Either way, this does now allow a single rocket fired from Bump in the Night to freeze a boss, and in this clip, it also looks like you can shatter and then also refreeze the boss as well if enough wolf packs hit with just one rocket. Just looking at Bump in the Night at base with no damage perks or Chill Clip, we hit the Grasp Ogre with 4 rockets for 504,000 damage. For testing, I chose 4 rockets because it is low enough to consistently get off in damage phases while also triggering Shatter multiple times. Also, all testing was done with Wolfpack rounds applied. Switching over to a Chill Clip rocket, we then hit for 544,000 damage, which is around an 8% increase in total, but it is important to note that testing on Templar increased damage from 496,000 all the way up to 609,000 damage, which is closer to a 23% increase, which already shows inconsistencies with Shatter. So it's hard to say exactly the increase we're getting from Chill Clip, which could also have something to do with Wolfpack rounds too. Back at the Ogre, I did also test with Tether just to make sure nothing weird happens with debuffs, and as you're going to see, 4 rockets hit for 707,000 damage with Chill Clip on, so this is a 29.9% increase, which might as well just be 30%, so nothing crazy happens when adding this. And the same is going to hold true for adding in Font of Might in this second test. Font of Might should be a 25% increase. This brought our damage up by 28% actually to 699,000 from base, but that is most likely to just getting extra shatter damage. So I would assume Font was working properly here. However, in other tests that I have done with Font, it doesn't seem to increase shatter damage, so not exactly sure where all the damage is coming from. Moving on to the actual rocket testing we did, now that we kind of have an understanding for what works and doesn't work, we went in and tested with 6 players against Templar. In our testing, we always had Wolfpack rounds, always had each player shooting 4 shots, and we tested with multiple different Hothead damage perks. We started with 5 players on Hothead and progressively swapped players to Bump in the Night to see if there was a point where Stasis Shatter damage was getting better, and we only used a Well as a buff, no Font of Might, or debuffs were ever used, because as I went over, these aren't going to matter much. As a baseline with 4 rockets, in the top left is just myself on Bump in the Night with Chill Clip at 609,000 damage. Top right is me on Hothead with no damage perks at 514,000. Bottom left is the damage from Hothead with Lasting Impression at 592,000 damage. And then bottom right is a single person on Hothead with Explosive Light. And we did make sure that they always had at least 4 stacks. And this hit for 597,000 damage. So standalone with Galley, bump seems pretty decent at first. Starting with test number 1, we had all players on Hothead shooting 4 rockets, which ended up being decent. I counted the exact number of pixels worth of damage we dealt. In this test, our Relic Holder did do a bit of damage, so after removing this, we brought Templar down to 228 pixels, which is around 40% health left. And if you do count the damage registered in the wipe screen, we did 2.91 million damage, not counting the damage of the Relic/Galley player. Keep in mind this was also with multiple different Hothead rolls too, to show how different Hotheads might scale with Shatter, so this could be optimized a bit better. With 1 chill clip rocket added, this then brought the health down to 220 pixels or 38.6% health, and on the wipe screen, we ended up dealing 2.89 million damage, where you will see me with a much lower value overall, which I think is from the Shatter damage then being rewarded to other players rather than myself. With 2 chill clip rockets, this brought the Templar's health down to 258 pixels, which is a good bit worse than before, this being 45.3% of the boss's health pool left, and on the wipe screen, we dealt a total of 2.84 million damage. Again, our 2 lowest players dealing damage being on chill clip, but other players' damage is slightly higher than the baseline test that they had as well. With 3 chill clips, we hit 245 pixels, aka 42.9% health left, and dealt 2.73 million damage on the wipe screen. So even though we did seem to be dealing better damage during this phase, the game didn't seem to fully register it in the wipe screen's numbers. With 4 chill clips on, our team dealt 231 pixels, aka 40.5% health left, and this came out to 2.77 million damage. And then lastly, with 5 chill clip rockets, this was 248 pixels, which is 43.5% health left, and we summed to deal 2.58 million damage, being the lowest wipe screen damage by far, but it was still slightly better than the test with 3 chill clip rockets in terms of health percentage. Based on the percentage of the boss's health gone, the test in order of effectiveness can be seen on screen now, with 1 chill clip rocket in the lead and everything else really just bringing damage down after this. However, if you look at the damage summations from the wipe screen, this shows a very different picture, with Hothead random rolls being on top. As far as DPS goes, even though you do lose a bit of damage in total, as you can see here, Clown Cartridge is almost double the rate of damage that an optimal chill clip setup will have, and even if you don't have Clown Cartridge, just using the random rolls with Hothead is pretty much the same bake timing as well. Overall, the TLDR for this video is that chill clip is not worth running for multiple people. We did obviously find that 1 chill clip is slightly more optimal, but I would go as far as to say that not even having anyone on a chill clip bump in the night doesn't make any difference. When it comes to stacking Shatter damage, I would say this isn't really happening. The damage that 5 bumps dealt was around 4% less in the health percentage and around 12% less on the wipe screen compared to the random Hotheads we used. This obviously means not all Shatter damage that is dealt is going to be accounted for numerically, but from the baseline where bump hit 609,000 and Explosive Light hit for 597,000, we would have expected more bump in the nights to be slightly higher if this was true. I think that most of the Shatter damage is applying, but I wouldn't say that having more bumps increases the Shatter damage or rate of shatters better than linearly. For boss bakes and DPS as a whole, if you do have Hotheads with Clown Cartridge and preferably Field Prep, and you can hit the damage that you need for a damage phase, then Bump in the Night doesn't even come close to comparing. If we do, however, see a rocket meta come Lightfall, then I will say, with a Font of Might setup, this will definitely be worth using, even though it isn't the best rocket, similar to how Reed's Regret becomes better than Cataclysmic because of its ease of use with Supreme Wellmaker. The last thing I will add is that upon testing multiple times with each test we ran, there was one single time where we did see a larger chunk in damage from Shatter. This occurred when using 4 chill clip rockets, but we could not ever repeat this, meaning as far as practical applications go, it isn't worth running. I would also imagine this goes back to me showcasing chill clip dealing varying percentage increases, which must come from Shatter damage, or how chill clip pairs with Wolfpack rounds. I also think this could make certain bosses take more damage if they manage to insta-shatter, which I also showed deals increased damage, but this is all my speculation and not something I could really prove, so take all of this with a grain of salt. Chill Clip isn't bad by any means in my opinion, it just isn't meta. If you guys have any questions, I will try my best to answer them in the comments below. Let me know if you guys think Chill Clip and Bump of the Night are worth using or not in your own opinion. I do also stream a bunch over on my Twitch where we run low mans and speedruns live. We're currently working on DSC speeds, so a link to that and my Discord server are both in the description below. Anyways, that's all for this video, guys. As always, have a good one. Peace.